Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Creative Process. I'm so excited about today's episode. I've had so many amazing guests come through, bless me with their presence, talk about their creative process. So, who am I? Why would you want to tune into this show? Well, my name is Angie B, and I am the host and the visionary of the creative process. What is the creative process? Well, when I envisioned it, it's just a series of conversations with dope creatives, talking about their process, talking about how they have birthed their endeavors, how they have maneuvered throughout their process of creativity to become who they are or how they are working through their endeavors. You can learn so much. So stay tuned. I want you to share this post, like it, and invite somebody, tag somebody below, because this guy who I have coming on, oh my goodness, he has made himself into such an amazing musician, producer, you name it. If you want to learn more about his process, stay tuned. So, about the creative process, I'm Angie B. I am a creative in every sense of the word. I'm a songwriter. I sing. I'm a media specialist. I write poetry. I create content. I'm into photography and video editing now. And I'm just a creative in every sense of the word. And I'm still growing and still learning because I am a lifelong learner. Now, the creative process was birthed during the pandemic. I had so much time to stay home, to think about life, to think about myself, to think about how I've been sitting on creativity or not manifesting my greatness or my creativity due to fear, due to being in the background so long and just not knowing how to maneuver to the front line. And I just saw people leaving this earth left and right. And I said to myself and to God, if you allow me to survive, if you just keep me around, I'm going to manifest these things that I've been sitting on. I'm going to birth them. I'm going to step out of fear into faith and purpose, because I'm a avid believer of purpose and going after your God-given purpose. And that's one thing I love to do, to motivate people to go after their purpose in life. Now, today's guest, oh my goodness, his name is Sean Keys, and I'm just excited to have him on. He's just a man who has accomplished so many things within the music industry. And if you're if you're interested in becoming a music producer, a songwriter, or you're a musician and you just don't know your potential, stay tuned, because this guy has done it all. He's worked with some of the greatest. His name is Sean Keys, and I've known him for a while. We are friends from back in the G. We're going to talk more about that. In 2000, Sean launched his production and songwriting company, SmoothTunes Productions. And as an up and coming producer, the opportunity to produce and write music were plentiful on a local level, but became even greater when he was approached by national recording artist and Stellar nominated group Blessed. He was asked to produce several tracks on their 2006 project, Unshakable, along with Grammy Award winning producer Kevin Bond. In 2008, Sean Keys gained widespread recognition for his production with several up and coming independent artists. The blessings were only the beginning. In 2011, he wrote on and co-produced the compilation project, The Countdown. This phenomenal project yielded 4 Rhythm of Gospel Awards, 3 Praise Factor Awards, and 8 South Florida Gospel Music Award nominations. During this time, Sean also worked with Faith Evans, Selena Johnson, Kiki Wyatt, Monifa, and Nikki Gilbert, also known as the R&B Divas, and appeared on their hit reality TV show for TV1. So let me bring on this special guest. Hey, Sean, how are you?
Yo, what's up, Angie B? What's going on? How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so glad you're on today. I mean, goodness gracious, Sean. I remember when we went to church together, and you were always a dope musician. Like,
Thanks.
you were always dope with the keys. You always were a pleasant person to be around and work with. You always were kind to me, and I really appreciate it. I'm just so proud of all of your success, which we're going to talk about soon next. But I'm just so proud to see who you've become, and you haven't even, the best is yet to come. That's what I'm going to say.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Look, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was gonna mention. I mean, y'all don't even realize me and Angie B go way back. You know, playing in the same band together for a little while and going to church together. Yeah, yeah. Angie was the singer. I was in the band.
Yeah, you brought me to be a back singer.
Yeah. Yeah. So man, we go way back. Same church together for a while and stuff. So yeah, man, Angie B. I can say Angie B is my girl, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
So
Yeah, no problem.
now let's talk about the creative process and Sean Key's creative process, right?
Yeah.
So how does Sean Keys define creativity? Now, I will say this, my definition of creativity, I believe that creatives or creativity is just a spectrum. It's like a rainbow. It's no just one color. There's no one shape. There's no one taste. There's no one smell. It's just a broad spectrum, and we don't all look the same. We don't operate the same. We don't all think the same, but we have the same root. So how do you define creativity?
Yeah, my definition of creativity, I kind of feel like creativity is something that I think you're kind of born with it. I also think it could be learned, but I think that everyone is creative in their own way.
That's
Be
interesting
it,
that you say you think it can be learned. So,
yeah.
you how are ways that someone could learn about creativity?
I think studying and like there are several like I know I can speak to the music aspect as it pertains to music. There are several things or videos that are out there. Like I always call it YouTube University because
Yes,
there are so many things on YouTube that if you don't know about it, you can go and watch and learn. And
absolutely.
yeah, and so in my field of music, I think a lot of times. You can go on there and learn different things about how music is created and how songs are written and that kind of thing. So that's why I say there's an aspect of creativity being learned as well.
Okay.
But I think the best creatives out there, not to put a label or put a position on creatives, but I think the best creatives are those that are born with it or those that have been around it all of their lives.
So
So
we have that innate ability.
yeah, people that have that just thing, that it factor to just be creative. Being creative is something that's birthed inside of you. And I think it's the ability to take something that's regular and make it special. I think that's kind of my definition of being creative. Take something that otherwise people would look at and just be like, oh, okay, that's cool, and then putting that wow on it, like whoa, like oh, that's pretty dope. So and like I said, it's just not music. It's everything. You can be creative in designing houses, organizing closets,
Design.
what I'm saying, and whatever, so you can be creative in sports. You can be creative in the way you play the game,
Absolutely.
I don't want people to, yeah,
Music. It's not just music. It's not
right,
just because a lot of times when we think about uh, creativity, we automatically think about actors and
yep,
singers and
yep,
musicians, that
hmm,
kind of thing. So I agree with you, even with
yeah,
sports. Now, I never thought
yeah,
about creativity in sports.
yeah,
And I know
yeah.
you're a big sports fan over there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You think about the most iconic players. came into the game and played the game a different way. They were creative. Look
Wow.
at Michael Jordan. There was nobody like Michael Jordan until he came into the game. He played, they called him Air Jordan because this guy seemed like he could fly. And there was nobody like that before him, and then you got your
And you know
LeBron
what?
James. Yeah,
What's so funny is I tell you, you always were instrumental in my life. And I think about the people who were a part of my village, and you are a part of my village into who I am and who I'm becoming, because I would always come to you with, like, I would want different advice. You saw something in me
hmm
vocally. And
hmm
I remember asking you a question. I was like, how can I become a better vocalist? I was like, I like the way this person sings, but I don't want to copy them because I don't want to just seem like that. But you were like, well, that's how you become better. You study the best. And I remember
Yep.
you using the sports analogy of
hmm
studying and making it your own. That's how
That's
Michael
absolutely right.
became who he was.
Absolutely. Yep. That's correct. Because I mean, you got to think about it. I mean, in this world, there's nothing new, really. There's nothing, like the Bible even said that there's nothing new under the sun.
Right.
So it's not that you want to mimic or you want to copy people or you want to be like them. It's just that you glean from those that do it the best, and then you take it and you sprinkle a little bit of Angie on it, or you sprinkle a little bit of Sean on it, and then
Yeah.
that makes you into who you are. Then you develop a brand, and you become, oh, then people start looking at you like, oh, I want to do that like Sean. I want to do that like Angie. Or maybe not do it like us, but study us to see how we did it. So then they can sprinkle a little bit of themselves on it.
Yes. Do you
Yeah.
have any creative role models or mentors, whether you know them or you don't know them? Do you have any mentors like that?
Well, absolutely. I have some mentors that I don't per se know, but some people that I've looked up to during the whole process of becoming a producer, a musician. So one of the people that I really was influenced by and kind of made me start producing was Rodney Jerkins. I don't know Rodney. I don't know Rodney, but I would love to meet him one day. But he is the reason why I think I really fell in love with the whole process of producing. And here we go. The reason is because he opened his life and was very transparent on YouTube and things of that nature, showing his process and showed how he was creating music, how he was working in the studio. And that just grasped me. And then just his sound and the way he developed the records. And I knew his sound, and I would be listening to the radio and I'd be like, oh, that's a Rodney record. Because I knew what he did. I knew his process. I knew how his sound was. So I think that was one of the people that really, really, really inspired me to take a dive into production. Now, as far as music is concerned, it was probably my dad, from him him playing, and then just the people, like, the unsung heroes in the church that I was growing up in. I just always looked at the musicians like, man, I want to do that. And I'm talking about, here I am, a 5-year-old kid, and I'm sitting on the front bench of the church and watching the drummer, watching the drummer, watching the drummer,
And how, like, a
watching.
lot of greatness comes from the churches a lot of times.
Man, you know what? It's I'm gonna tell you, it's probably 99.9% of the time, especially in our community, in the Black community, that most of the people that go on to be superstars in R&B and pop and rap and hip hop and all that kind of stuff, them cats started right in the church.
Right in the church.
You can trace it back to, people like Beyonce, Whitney
Yeah.
Houston. All of them will have told you a story of how they started in the church. It's very few that haven't. But I think that it's just that, like, again, that's a God given, ability to be creative from, birth. So yeah, man. I mean, that's just a little part of how I got into all of this, and who's inspired me and who I look up to.
Absolutely. And you are a man of many talents. I mean, you're a music producer, you're a songwriter, you're a musician. And I know that we can go so many different places with that. But
Mhm.
tell me specifically, where did the songwriting come from? Like, when did you realize that you were a songwriter and you were gifted?
Well, see, the thing that people don't really, and this is kind of, I'm put a business spin on this too, because what people don't realize is that if you write music or if you create music, you're a songwriter as well. It's not just a lyric writer that is a songwriter. So it started with me actually writing music, actually putting down music and writing, songs, just musical, just without any lyrics. And then after that, I developed a desire to actually write lyrics to the music. So I started kind of doing that as well. And I'm like, hey, I guess I can kind of write a little bit, as far as the lyric side is concerned. So every song has two sides. It has a composition side and it has a lyrical side.
Yeah.
So I started out writing music on the composition side, and then later, I started, kind of just putting my 2 cents in lyrically, and then it, grew into, hey, I'm writing my own songs now. But I still love to collaborate with people because I always think that two minds are better than one. You know,
Absolutely.
I've written songs on my own before, but I also like to collab with people because you always get those two creatives in the room together, and it's like,
It's
it's
magic.
magic. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I love how you said one part of your creativity actually birthed another part that you didn't even
Hmm.
realize was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
The grinding, I'm sure you did the 10,000 hours, the mastery of
Oh yeah.
becoming a master
Oh
musician,
yeah.
and that went into that. Okay, so let's talk about the part of the creative process that needs or warrants patience. Tell me about your 10,000 hours and the mastery part, because
Hmm.
everybody sees Sean Keys, the success, the
Hmm.
all of the accolades and all of the great people who you work with, which we'll get into next.
Hmm.
But what about those times where you were grinding and nobody saw you and you were in
Absolutely.
the background?
Yeah.
Tell us about
Man,
that.
I'm gonna tell you, the road to success is very bumpy. but here it is. I would have it no other way because I think it makes you appreciate, the end game, or the end goal, I should say. But yeah, man, it's like you got to think about it. I started off being a musician. I started out just playing, went off to college, started, playing for a recording artist at the time, doing some traveling. And we would have these rehearsals where, and this is part of the grind, and this is kind of how it led up to me knowing that I could kind of start writing and creating music. We would come in these rehearsals, and the band and I would be there already because we would have a band rehearsal before the actual group would come in. And the artist would come in and start singing these songs or singing these melodies, and we didn't even know. Like, and we would literally on the spot. It would be up to me to, like, okay, we about to create a song right now in rehearsal. So I think that helped with being able to create quickly. So he would come in and start singing, and we'd be like, okay, all right, let's just do this. And then the band would just kind of fall in. We'd all start kind of collabing, and then I started kind of realizing that, man, hey, maybe I actually can kind of compose and produce music and stuff like that. So when I got a little bit older, moved on to start my own production company, I said, well, look, I'm actually going to jump out here and try to do this. So from there, I said, okay, if I'm going to be a producer, I got to know everything there is to know, or at least as much as I can about doing what I do. So I started trying to learn different, DAWs, or digital audio workstations, which is like Pro Tools and Logic and things like that. And let me tell you, that is one of the most frustrating things there is to learn, especially if you don't have anybody sitting there holding your hand as you're doing it, so to speak. Man, there have been times that I wanted to take my computer and throw it out of the window and bust it on the concrete. I've been, there's been times that I have actually done a whole session, a whole song, and hit the wrong button and deleted everything.
Oh,
So yeah, so I
I
mean, I
feel
would
the
never
pain.
look. I will never forget. There was a time that I was producing the majority of the artists for this independent label, and we had a showcase to do in Atlanta. So at that time, I was doing everything. I was recording them, I was producing them, I was engineering them, I was doing all of their TV tracks, which are performance tracks and all of that, because I had all the sessions. So there's one particular time I'm sitting there, and the show is tomorrow in Atlanta, and I'm sitting there bouncing down TV tracks, and I messed around and put something in the trash can on the computer, and I hit delete. I went to pull the session up. All the files were gone.
Oh
So
my.
I literally had to sit there and recreate the song again in order to have it for the show, which was the next day in Atlanta. Now, mind you, I didn't go to bed that night. I ran out of the studio, I bounced everything down, got everything down, jumped in the shower, and I had to be at church on the West Bank
Wow.
that same day. Left there, drove to Atlanta. Everything was a success. But that's just part of like the grind of it and like the disappointment and then the success. But one thing that taught me was just always to never give up on what you're doing. Just keep grinding. So, from that, just, spun off into doing other things. And I just kept trying to sharpen my skills, learning, YouTube. I can't say that enough. Man, YouTube has been a blessing to me. And then
Yeah.
just getting around other people that are doing it, looking at other people that are doing it, watching on social media, other people that are doing it, people that are doing it. And I always would say, man, find somebody that's doing it greater than you,
Yeah.
and aspire to, like we talked about earlier, not be like them, but to do it as good as them, and then use your own little sprinkle to make your own waves in the industry. But man, it's
So what I heard, a few tidbits for you
mhm.
people out there, is perseverance is key.
Yes,
If you say you want
absolutely.
to do this thing, especially being in the industry, you have to persevere and you have to grind. You have to
Yes.
show that you want this, because there are other people out there who are grinding like you, and you have to outgrind sometimes.
And
Community.
that's, yeah,
Go,
yeah,
go.
that's the thing that separates the goods from the greats. You look at it, there are millions of people out here that are producers, or are saying they are producers. What is gonna separate you from everybody, like I said, everybody and their mom and them that's doing this? You gotta do something different. You gotta be excellent at all times. And I know it's pressure. It's so much pressure on creatives. That's why I always pray for creatives every day, for people
Yeah.
like myself, because it's so much pressure on us to be good all the time. You know, we have this pressure on us that we can't, you know, make a mistake, or we can't do anything, that's not on the level. So with that pressure, you have to just pray and be like, God, look, help me to continue to be dope. I know I can't do it on my own, so I need you to help me be dope. And that's literally how I talk to God. We got a relationship like that. Like, look, God, hey man, help me, just keep me relevant, keep me dope, like keep giving me dope ideas, because I know it ain't me, it's
Yeah.
you. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I mean, that's critical. In being in this industry, man. In anything we do, because we
Community.
want to.
Having
Yeah,
community, having someone to lean on and to support. And be
yeah,
like, okay, can you listen to this? Someone you can trust. Can you
yes,
listen to this? Hey,
yeah.
how do you do this on that song? Or
Mm-hmm.
man, I have this vocalist and I can't quite get her to hit this note. What do you do
Mm-hmm.
with your artist? Having that community to
Absolutely.
support each other. So
Right.
that's the things I heard.
Yeah, and it's crazy because coming up, it wasn't a lot of that. For me,
Mm,
a lot of times the business is so competitive
yes.
that people don't want to share tidbits with you.
Mhm, mhm.
Because and even either it's out of one or two things. They're afraid that you might take their position, or they think that, hey, I didn't have anybody to help me with this, so I'm not about to help anybody else. But I made it a point within myself that if anybody that was aspiring to do what I do and I saw that they were serious about it,
Yeah.
that I would lend my time and my phone conversations or whatever to help them get to the next level. And I've had people call me on several occasions. Hey man, I'm not trying to get you to show me how, but just tell me how do I make this happen? Okay, and I tell them, because I didn't have that, if I didn't, it was like, man, don't ask me, don't ask me, like you better find out for yourself. What I'm saying? That's how it kind of happened for me, but I vowed that, man, if any young producer reached out to me, and it has happened. Hey man, how do you do such and such? Or how do you make this happen? Or how did you do this? I'm gonna tell them. I'm gonna share it with them because, like you said, it's about community. You got, it's enough. What I've discovered, in this creative world, that it's enough out here for all of us to eat. It's
Okay.
enough out here. It's enough out here for all of us to eat. And I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, a fellow musician. He was like, "Man, the key to the whole thing of being successful in this creative world is that, man, find something that even in a pandemic like we're in, that people are always going to need. And
Yeah.
music and creative and arts is always something that people are going to lean on, to get them through tough times, even when we're in a situation right now, with the pandemic. People are going to they still need music.
Absolutely.
We're working on the soundtrack of people's lives right now, because there's
Yeah.
going to be songs down here during this time that people are going to listen back to, like, man, remember that was during the quarantine, when all this is passing, like, man, remember that song? Oh man, yeah, I remember that came out, during Corona and all, what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's important for that community thing, and I've always vowed that I'm gonna, reach, if somebody reaches out to me, I'm gonna always try to help out.
And I love that because I agree that a lot of people have that crab in the bucket mentality that they want to
Mm-hmm.
guard their position in
Mm-hmm.
in I mean, and it's in every industry, but especially in the music industry.
Oh
So
yeah.
thank you so much for being who you are, being great in your own right. Have a
Thank you.
great heart. And I think that's another component of why you are just so amazing and so blessed. So now let's talk about some of your upcoming projects.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
know that you're working with some national gospel recording artists, Dr.
Yeah.
James Mabel Jr., Kayla Richardson. Tell me
Yeah.
about their EPs. Tell me, how has the process been working with them and bringing their vision to life?
Absolutely. Well, it's crazy. Dr. James Mabel Jr. is from Texas. And man, when you talk about an artist with versatility, he is the poster child for a versatile artist. This guy's a gospel artist, but he can sing anything and make it his own. I linked up with him. I never forget. It was about maybe a year or two ago. Uh, yeah, about 2 years ago. I was headed out to vacation and I got this phone call, and it was Dr. James Mabel and his manager. Well, not his manager, but his executive producer. And he's on the label with he's signed to Uncle G Records, who's also on Keela Richardson is also on his label as well. And I'll get into her in a second. But I got a call from him to do a single called "I'm Free," which, man, skyrocketed, went to Billboard, got up to number 21 on Billboard Gospel Indicator charts. The song has been nominated for all kind of awards, and it's garnered him a Grammy consideration.
Wow.
We didn't make the nomination, but still to be in a conversation, is awesome. What I'm saying? I got him a Dove consideration for the Dove Award. But now we've shifted, and we worked on his EP, which is scheduled to be released, I think, in the next month or so. But it's going to be called The Journey. Man, I'm telling you, this thing is amazing. And when I say it has something for everyone, I mean, if you like old school R&B sounding gospel, it's got that on there. I'm talking about, like, like that. that Isley Brothers kind of stuff. It's got that on there.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's got that on there. If you want to go to church, if you want Sunday morning, it got that. It has that on there. If you want to worship, it's got that on there. I mean, he's got man. I'm telling you, the thing. I'm so excited about it, man. It's great, and I'm excited about what God is doing through him. And then Keela Richardson, man. People remember Keela because Keela came in the top 4 on Sunday Best last season. So I know Sunday Best is going on right now. Yeah, but she was on Sunday. Yeah, she was on Sunday Best last season. She came in number 4. She's from Pensacola, Florida. And I got a call from Uncle G, who is the label head, and he was like, "Hey nephew, I signed Keela, and I don't want nobody else to work on it. I want you to take on this project," which was an honor to me because this person's just gotten 8 weeks of FaceTime on BET. So it was just a perfect marriage of artist, producer, and label. And we did a single called "So Good," and man, God just really when I tell you he blew on that thing and just really just made it go. It's been number 1 on Billboard Gospel Indicator charts for like 8 weeks,
Wow.
and now yeah, and now we're climbing up the other Billboard Gospel charts, the National Gospel Airplay charts. As we speak right now, it's number 4 on National Gospel Airplay charts, and God's blessing that, and it's also number 9 on Media Base. So man, it's really, man, been wonderful working with her. Now we're completing her EP. As a matter of fact, in the background, I got one of the sessions up now that I'm editing, get ready to send it to mix. Yeah. So we should be wrapping that up probably within the next 2 weeks and getting that out. So James Mabel and Keela Richardson's EP should be dropping around the same time. So y'all be on the lookout for that. I'm also honored that I've had an opportunity to work with 2 other artists that are actually 2020 Stellar nominees this year. One is Kim Person from North Carolina. She's a 2-time Stellar nominee this year for her album called The Journey that I had the honor of working on. And then also another artist named Daija. She's from, I think, Northern Louisiana. And she's nominated this year for a Stellar Award for, I think, Best Youth Artist of the Year or something like that. And that's just to name a few, man. There are a lot of new independent artists that I've been working with, and they're coming out, and man, I'm just honored because even in a pandemic, God has shown me, like, man, look, I got you, and you ain't slowing down. I'm about to put you on that launching pad and just rocket ship you, to that next level. So man, I'm just grateful, man. And
it just seems like you got the juice, my friend. That's something I love to say. You got the juice now. You got the juice. Okay. And when it's time for me to do a song, I'm coming to you because you have what it takes to make those hits. That's what I'm saying.
Come on, let's do it.
So guys, look, I want you to connect with Sean Keys, to stay connected with everything he's doing. I mean, he's doing so many great things. He's working with so many amazing artists. He just loves to help make things their own. He loves to just mold them into something great, guys. And he's just an awesome individual. So stay connected with him. All of his social media handles are on our live page right now. So back to the conversation. So before we talk more about some of the great people you worked with, I asked you a question of what you feel like your creative niche is. And you said, I feel like I'm really good at taking fragmented concepts and turning them into full-fledged, completely produced records. So I'd say I am a dream shaper. Go deeper into that. What does it mean to you to be a dream shaper?
Yeah, I mean, like, for an example, a lot of times being a composer or being a producer, a songwriter, when you're working with, different clients, they'll send you something that they've had on their heart, or that something, especially when it comes to writing gospel music, something that God has deposited in their spirit, and they feel like they want to make it into a song. But a lot of times, to be honest, when they send it, sometimes it's fragmented, or it could be like a run-on sentence. It's just, a bunch of ideas. And I understand that 100%, because when you have something, in your mind, and you got to get it out on a voice note or a piece of paper, it ain't gonna make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna make sense. It's not gonna be, fully written out, and got your first verse and your bridge and your chorus and your pre-chorus. It's not gonna have all of that. So I think God has given my team and I a knack, or like a niche, like you say, at shaping dreams and making these fragmented ideas become, songs. I've had countless times that, God has amazed me. I'm not gonna say I amazed myself, because I know this ain't just me doing this by myself. I know I got some help,
Yeah.
a lot of help. So it's been countless times that somebody sent me a voice memo, and I look up, a couple of hours later, and it's a record. It's a
What?
song, and
Not a
it's like,
voice memo,
yes,
and you made it into a stellar nominated hit. What?
basically that's how it's happening. And honestly, what I've been doing since it's kind of become kind of my niche, I actually encouraged people, when they are writing and they want me to produce them and write with them, the first thing I say, hey, send me a voice memo, because I've just seen that that's worked for me. So
Wow.
especially if they already kind of got a vibe of how they wanted to kind of feel or go, I can almost pick it up from just hearing them send it in a voice memo. And I think that's come from me actually. That's the way I kind of develop my tracks, so to speak, as well. Because if I'm not near my setup, and I might be out and I get something deposited, I'll pull out my iPhone and I'll start, like singing the parts. So I'll sing like the drum beat I'm hearing. I'll sing like, whatever, lines or whatever I'm hearing. I'll sing it into my phone. So when I get home, I don't lose the idea that I had. So I've encouraged several artists. Hey, you write? Okay, cool. Well, look, you want to write a song? Okay, cool. Send me, no matter, and I always, try to encourage them. No matter how silly you think it sounds, no matter how, unfinished or unpolished it is, send it to me. And God has given me and my team the grace every time. Every time we've turned it into a song.
Wow.
And man, I'm grateful for being able to do that. Usually they'll send it. I'll start with, kind of doing a piano sketch, and then, if there's not a bridge there, I may hear something and I start playing a bridge to it, and then go into the vamp or So, I mean, it's just really become a goal of mine to make people's dreams come true of songwriting, because I always even encourage artists that don't necessarily write, but they feel like they may have a gift to kind of do it.
Yeah.
But say, send me whatever you got. We'll make it into a song.
Just come something on a memo and send it to me.
Yeah, just say it to me. We'll make it into a song.
I love it. I have a question. Now, do you feel like to receive more ideas, you need to empty out the ones that you already carry in your head? Like, do you feel that's the way it goes?
It's funny you asked me that, because I learned through going through writer's block that you should allow yourself, see, because as creatives, we always get to the point at some point in our careers that we hit a block. And what I've learned is to empty out the quote unquote junk. Just whatever comes to mind, no matter how whack you feel like it is, or if you're designing something, just do it and get that out, put that on the side, and then I think that opens you up for new ideas, for the idea that's going to be the idea. It's countless times I've had to come in here and get what I would never release. I would never let any of y'all hear some of this stuff that I'll just put down just to get it out. And then I'll wipe my slate clean. Okay, like now I'm going to start for real. So, and I think it's important to do that. I think it's very important to do that. So yes, to get new ideas, I think sometimes you have to clear out the junk, that's kind of clouding, and I'm talking about it from a standpoint of being, having writer's block. But yeah, just clear out the junk so you can get new ideas. I think that's definitely the way to address it. Absolutely.
That's good, Sean Keys. Look, y'all, you're hearing it here. He is dropping gems. I hope you have your voice memos. No, I'm just playing. I hope you're taking notes. I hope you're learning from one of the best in the industry. I'm going to say the best. Y'all don't get mad at
Thank
me.
you.
I say what I
Thank you.
want.
Thank you.
Okay?
Hey, this is your show. You can say what
It's
you
my
got.
show. No, but I really hope that you all are enjoying this. Share this. Tag someone
Yes,
below. So many gems are being dropped right now. So next, let's talk about some of the people that you've worked with in the past.
Yeah.
So here are a few of his accomplishments. He's worked with Tanya Dallas Lewis. She's a Stellar and Dove nominee. Isabel Davis. Oh my God, The Call. I love Isabel. She's such an angel. Such an angel.
I had fun working with Isabel. I worked on 3 songs on that album, The Call, and that was a fun experience, man. That was awesome.
And you all were 2-time Stellar Award nominees and winners, right?
And that's actually how I became a Stellar Award winning Stellar Award winning producer. Isabel won for New Artist of the Year for her project, The Call. And since I was a producer of 3 songs on The Call, then I'm also considered a Stellar Award winner. So since she was a winner of that award, that made me a Stellar Award winning producer. So shout out to Isabel Davis. Bless you, ma'am.
And then I see here The Showers. Tell me about working with them.
Man, that's pretty cool, because the thing with The Showers, I've been knowing The Showers, God, seems like forever. I went to college at Southeastern University in Hammond. Shout out them Lions. And I met The Showers there in Hammond while I was going to school there. And it's 10 of them, siblings, wow. 10 siblings. Yeah, and they're a family group. Yeah, big family, and they all can sing. And so I was playing for them as well, and as they were traveling and singing and stuff. So when they started recording, it afforded me the opportunity to do some recording with them on their first project, and then their second project, their third project, I got a chance to actually produce some songs and write some songs for them. So, man, that was a wonderful process. I had 4 songs on that album. That album got nominated for a couple of different Stellar Awards. We didn't bring any home for that one, but we should have. But still, the nominations are special to me as well. So, but yeah, The Showers, that's my piece from Hammond, Louisiana.
Nice. I see Kim Pearson, 4-time Apollo Awards, the NC Gospel Announcers Guild Female Vocalist of the Year recipient, Rhythm of Gospel Award winner. Man, you've done some big things. Titus Showers, debut album he debuted it at #1 on the Billboard Gospel Album in sales.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, so back up to Kim Person. Kim Person, wonderful artist out of North Carolina. I was talking about her earlier. She's a 2-time Stellar Award nominee this year for her new album, The Journey, that I had an opportunity to produce a few records on. And then Titus Showers is a member of the Showers family who branched off to do a solo thing. And yes, the album that I had an opportunity to work on, that album debuted at #1 on Billboard for sales. Listen to me, people. That's huge, because now in a streaming industry where everybody's streaming and downloading music, you don't get too many people to actually buy and purchase the material anymore. But there are still a few people out there that are moving records, and Titus was one of them. His album did so well that it debuted at #1 in sales, and not to mention, to back up to Kim, also another independent artist. Her album debuted at 6 on Billboard for sales and moved up to #2 at the time in sales, right under Kanye West's album.
Wow.
Yes, yes. So I'm just honored to be a part of both of those projects, man. That was huge. Yes.
I mean, I'm just floored at this moment, and there's more. Like, I feel like I'm talking to royalty right now. Oh my goodness. And then Dr. James Mabel Jr. single debuted at #17 on Gospel Billboard sales charts. Along with Billboard Most Added Radio Single, it peaked at #21 on Billboard Gospel Indicator chart. And the title of the single is I'm Free 2019.
Yep. Yeah, I'm free. That James Mabel from Houston. Honored to work with him. Man, God really did a wonderful thing with that song and how it came about. It was really, really, really special. And like I said, God blew on that thing too, man, and just made it just go. We released it, radio really, caught a hold to it and really embraced it, and people went out and bought it. His single was 17 in sales, which again, here we go again. People don't really buy music, but they were buying that, and shout out to the team though that makes this happen, like Uncle G, Greg Lyons, who is his manager and promotions specialist, and a label that he signed to really pushed along with James to do some creative things via social media to let people know that it was coming and to get them in the swing of getting ready to purchase it, so that he would debut at 17 on a Billboard sales. So man, I'm honored to be a part of that too. And like I said, his EP, gosh, I can't wait for y'all to hear that. It's gonna be bananas.
Brother, I'm honored. Look, you think I'm piping you up, but I'm honored to be your sister.
And likewise, look at what you're doing too. I'm proud of you. I meant to say that in the beginning. I'm proud of what you're doing. Look at this. You're creating. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. What I love about you, Angie, just to digress for a second, you've always been a person that learned how to create their own lane.
Wow.
And make it happen. And I've heard people say that about me too. So I think we're alike in that manner, that we know how to create our own lanes and just just let God just breathe on that thing and push it to the next level. So I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. It's not easy being a trailblazer. You're standing in front of a forest full of tall trees, and you got this little bitty axe, and you asking the Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, this little bitty axe.
Yeah, what you want me to do with this?
Oh,
right. Yeah.
But
see, that's part of that whole grind thing we were talking about, though. You don't ever want it to happen quick, because sometimes quick is over quick. You know what I'm saying? So, grind, take that axe and chop it down one hit at a time. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I approach stuff. So, yeah.
Thank you, bro. A few more accolades, and then I'm going to have you to encourage some people in a second. But
sure.
So, Keela Richardson. I said Kayla.
Yeah, sorry. It's Keela. Yeah, that's cool.
She's the Sunday's Best Season 9 top 4 finalist, and y'all have that single So Good. Check out this fun clip made by GSS Media's team of Keela Richardson's song Corona Can't Hold Me Down. Enjoy.
Hold me down. No matter how hard it tries. Corona can't hold me down. Ooh, yeah. Hold me down.
You gotta go.
Corona
you can't stay here.
You don't have no authority here. Corona, hold me down. Corona Corona can't hold me down, no, no, no,
hold me down. Corona can't hold me down.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, your accomplishments, to name a few, your 2018 Stellar Award win with Isabel Davis for producer, 2018 IRAA Producer of the Year, 2018 and 19 NOLA Gospel Awards Producer of the Year, and 2020 Gulf Coast Gospel Music Awards Producer of the Year nominee. I mean, you deserve it all. And I'm praying and I'm speaking blessings on blessings on blessings over you and your entire your career and your family and everything you put your hands to prospers. I mean, it's evident that you being a part of the equation matters. And I'm telling you what I know and what I'm reading. What you put your hands to prospers. So God bless
you so much.
Your endeavors. Now,
thank you so much.
I wish I could talk on and on and on with you, but I want you to take a moment to encourage those people who may be just starting off. They're in the beginning or the middle of their mastery process, and they're looking for people to connect with. But they don't feel that sense of community, and they may feel discouraged. And they may feel like, hey man, look, I'm just tired of doing this. I'm tired of grinding. Being a creative is so hard. They know that God is behind them and He's given the assignment, but they feel a little discouraged. So I want you to take some time and speak from your heart, whatever you want to say to encourage the creatives who are watching.
Sure. I would say, to you out there that are going through that, the whole situation of maybe not feeling like this is for you, or falling on rough times, especially with what's going on right now. Never doubt yourself. Never doubt the gift that God has given you. And where there is vision, I've always learned that there is provision. You may not know where it's going to come from because it's not your job to know where it's going to come from. God got that. So you just keep plugging away, keep doing what you're doing. Never shun away from the grind. The grind is where your glory comes from. The grind is where your glory comes from. And it's where God shapes you and makes you into what he wants you to be. Just like the people use the analogy of the flower all the time, how it starts in dirt and it got to get rained on, and you got, and stuff, and everything's got to happen to it. And it's going to be, the sun's going to come and dry up the soil, and then it's got to get rained on again. And then all of a sudden here comes this big, beautiful thing, I'm saying, that everybody sees, but nobody sees what's going on underneath the dirt. You may be in that situation right now where you're underneath the dirt and you don't, it doesn't look like you're going to see the light of day. But I am a witness, that it will happen if you stay on the grind, keep God first, and just don't give up. Keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, keep going forward, keep looking forward, keep pressing forward. Don't stop, man. Don't stop. And even if you feel like the idea that you have now is not something that's going to be beneficial or something that's going to be fruitful to you, God will give you another idea that'll put you in the place that you need to be. So don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. That's my word to them.
Well, guys, you heard it from Sean Keys yourself. Hey, Sean didn't even realize he was talking to me.
No problem at all.
Thank you so much for being on today. It means the world to me. And one thing I love about you,
so much.
Of course, one thing I love about you is I see that you're a person, no matter where God takes you, you remain humble. You remain the same. You could definitely be acting Hollywood with me. That's what I
look. I will never do that, man. Because it's just as quick as you up, you can be down. And that's something anybody that really knows me, they know that I'm not an arrogant type of cat. Never have been.
Never.
And because I know it ain't about me, man. I can't do this on my own. You know, I got a team, right? Even with all of this that I'm doing, I have a team of people that help me make this happen. You know, shout out to all my people that are on my team. You know, I mean, I can't do this without them, and I know I can't do this without God. So what am I gonna do? Sit up here trying to be Hollywood, and it ain't about me. It ain't even about me, man.
Thank you so much, Sean Keys. Look,
No
you
problem.
guys, go and follow Sean. I have the slide up right now. Follow him. Follow all the projects, every project that we talked about with his new and upcoming gospel artists. And that's not the end, guys. He's going to be working on more people. And look, if you are a gospel artist and you're looking for someone to bring your dreams, your musical dreams, your fragmented thoughts, or your music notes, get with him. He will make it. He will bring it to life. So thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much for being a part of the creative process, for being the light in my life, for being a part of my village. You don't even realize how instrumental you've been in my life. So I appreciate you, bro. I love you. You will definitely
Bless you, sis. Love you too.
I will be pulling on you just to talk about different concepts. I know you're busy. I won't hold you, but I'll reach out to you if I need to bounce some ideas off. And thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. Look, Angie B, it's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm loving what you're doing. I'm honored to be a part of it this week.
Thank you, bro. Well, until next time, guys, I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Go after your goals. Go after your dreams. Make these visions happen. God gave it to you, and you're the only one who can do it the way that you can do it. No one else can be Angie B. No one else can be Sean Keys, and no one else can be you. And you heard it right here on The Creative Process. Make it happen, creative. I love y'all. Bye.